So Spain are into the final of Euro 2024 after a relatively convincing victory over France 2-1 tonight. France, who went into the game with no goals scored from open play all tournament, 2 own goals and a penalty by Mbappe, finally managed to score one. Mbappe playing off of that left wing, getting at Jesus Navas, making him a bit scared, making him drop back a little bit further than the rest of the defence, creating some open areas for him, whips it in, and Kolo Muani with a delicate header into the net. It was actually a nice piece of play. France looking a little bit more fluid with their attacks tonight. But it only took about 10 minutes until Lamine Yamal turned up with an absolute monster goal. He's had an unbelievable tournament. He's already clocked a few assists, but hadn't quite been able to find the back of the net despite having numerous chances. But this time he turned up, turning the defender inside out and curling one top bins from 25 yards. An unbelievable strike that Maignan, who's had a fantastic tournament, could not stop. And it makes him the youngest Euros goal scorer ever at 16 and a bit years. That one is very, very unlikely to be topped, maybe ever, but if not, then it's going to take a long time. It genuinely feels like the Barca replacement for Messi has finally arrived. The number 10 got transported from Messi to Ansu Fati once Lionel moved over to Paris, but Fati didn't quite hit those heights. He had the injury problems, he had the loan to Brighton. Lamine Yamal might be him. And another player that's been phenomenal for Spain is Nico Williams. Those two on the wings are amazing, and there are very strong rumours, even acknowledged by Barcelona's president, that they want Nico Williams. So these two wingers that are decimating defences in all of these games in the Euros could be teammates for the next decade plus for Barcelona. Incredible. And Spain managed to get a second goal a few minutes after the Yamal one, which was Dani Olmo, and my goodness, the deft touch, the first one to sort of get it under control, and then a second volley touch to take it to the side of Tchouaméni, absolutely done him. Takes a shot at goal, it sort of deflects in off of Koundé, who couldn't really do much about it. Beautiful little dribble and a nice strike from him. Second half tonight, we saw a host of changes from both teams, lots and lots of substitutions. Bearing in mind, Spain were missing a couple of players due to suspensions. Dani Carvajal with his straight red in the previous game, and Lenormand due to yellow cards as well. But whilst Yamal has had a fantastic tournament, one man that hasn't is Kylian Mbappe. He's very, very much underperformed in this tournament. He did score the penalty in one of the group games, but since then, he's not really done as much. In this game tonight, he did get the assist for Kolo Muani, but then Jesus Navas was on a yellow for ages and he didn't get at him enough. And then when he did have some chances today, his shooting, just like in his previous games, was quite poor. It just wasn't good enough. One of them, he had a ridiculously clear chance and he just puts it over the bar. The normal, composed and clinical Mbappe that we normally see for PSG and France just hasn't been there this tournament, and that is one of the main reasons why Spain have knocked them out. You see him all the time for club and country normally, banging it near post, fooling the goalkeepers. This time, it's not that he's not going near post and scoring, it's that he just can't seem to hit the target. Antoine Griezmann for France is normally phenomenal as well. He's been a bit disappointing. France's best players, you've had Maignan in goal, and Kante has actually probably been their best player this tournament, which is crazy considering his age, the fact he's been out in Saudi and everything like that. They do have some up-and-coming young talents, though. Some of those didn't actually really feature. Zaire Emery of PSG looks like a really, really good younger player. But also, Barcola, who has come on a few times in the tournament, looks incredibly lively. It's a shame for him that Yamal is basically upstaging every other youngster because he's 16. But not even that. Even if he was 20, this would be phenomenal. But Barcola looks really good. But France in general, it's a bit like England. There's not enough fluidity. They're nowhere near enough clinical. They do create more chances than us, but they don't hit the target anywhere near enough. And here are the official match ratings for the players tonight. As you can see, there were some that performed much better than others. with Koundé putting in a better performance against Nico Williams than he did against Rafael Leao in the previous round. But Dani Olmo impressing once again. He's had a fantastic tournament, is available apparently for 60 million euros. You'd think someone is going to snap him up for that. And Lamine Yamal obviously having a very high performance score once again. And Spain, who were going into this game as the best attacking side in the tournament with 11 goals scored, have now upped that to 13. France were the best defensive team coming into this game, but now after having conceded 2, not quite as good, and they are out. Spain into the final. I feel like after the group stage, the vast majority of people that watched most of the games predicted this to happen. In my updated predictions post-group stage, I had Spain getting to the final, and sadly beating us when we get there, but they have deserved it. They are comfortably the best team in this tournament. I would be astounded if whoever gets to the final between us and the Netherlands can come toe-to-toe with these. I know France haven't been that impressive this tournament, but they have been creating chances in their games. They just haven't taken them. You compare that to us, we're not creating the chances. The Netherlands are, not quite as much as France, but they are creating them. They're also a little bit hit and miss with their finishing, as were Portugal, who ended up on France's side of the draw. But Spain were very, very impressive tonight and deserve to go through. And it's going to take one hell of a performance in the final for anybody to beat this incredible team of experience mixed with some insanely talented young players. Here's hoping that England can get it done tomorrow and get into a match with them in the final coming up this weekend.